Good morning.
Good morning.
It's an honor and a privilege to be here. I do a lot of stuff online, so it's just nice to connect and be in person with every single one of you. And I invite you, as we start with this meditation, I invite you to give this meditation to yourself fully and completely as a gift. Why? Because you are worthy of it. Today's a very special day because today you get to remember your freedom. You get to really remember what really matters and to remember you've never left the mind of God. The time has come. So I invite you now to close your eyes as we inhale in through the nose and exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. Doing your best to let go of thoughts and really connect to what is. This. And this. And this moment. And yep, right here. I invite you to connect with the space between the words and really come into presence. Coming into the invisible, the vastness, trying to let go of thoughts and thoughts start to come, just say, thank you kindly, and come back and say, I will give this gift of connecting to love right now. You see a ball of golden light on the tip of your head, and you see as that light goes down your eyes, your nose, your mouth, and you see as that light begins to expand across your chest, all the way down through your rib cage, through your hips, all the way down to your feet. You just feel light. We're all connected in this light. In your body, connected to each other. Just feel the love. Just feel that love, that connection, that light. Maybe you forget, maybe you go somewhere else. Just bring your attention to the light that you are. I want you now to visualize an altar. And on this altar, I want you to place anything that's keeping your happiness and freedom at peace today, at arm's length today. I invite you to put it on the altar. Whatever is keeping your happiness and peace at arm's length, give it over on the altar. I want you to just give yourself the opportunity to let go and surrender this morning. It can be a health issue. It can be anything that is disturbing your peace. We'll put it on the altar this morning. And we invite Holy Spirit in as we sit on this altar and give it all over. Without reservation. Today's the day where you get to remember. Remember you're the light. Remember you are love. Remember that whatever's happened in the past or will happen in the future, it doesn't matter because this is it. We're home here right now in this moment. Just give it all over now on the altar. Maybe it's something that happened 20 years ago. It doesn't matter. You put it on the altar today. You're worthy of that freedom. It could be something that happened last week. Put it on the altar. You're worthy of your freedom. And at this time, you feel the presence of Spirit as it embraces you. You give over anything you want to put on the altar this morning. It could be absolutely anything, and you feel the embrace of Spirit with the understanding of your desires, with the understanding of what you would like to have manifest. Whatever that is, Spirit's there holding you, embracing you, allowing you to just be. You can't mess it up here. There's no guilt here. There's only freedom. Holy Spirit holds you, embraces you in this space now. As we all declare, coming back now and bringing in that love that you just felt in the meditation into this experience. And I invite you now, as you come into this talk, may this be an extension of the meditation this morning. As I come into this talk, I invite you to be willing. Be willing to open your heart, be willing to have a change of perception, be willing to come out of here different, being willing to open that door and have that light shine of where you get to remember the time has come. So coming back now slowly, very gently, inhaling and exhaling. And I invite you now to everyone together to put your hand on your heart. If it feels good for you, you can put it on your heart or on your legs, whatever feels good for you. But as we open our eyes very slowly, I invite you to just look. Just look around, opening your eyes slowly. And I will look too. I will look too. And all together we declare out loud, show me your voice. I am love. I am love. And I am willing. I am willing. Thank you. How did that feel? Wonderful. So I usually like to be quiet a little bit. I have no idea what's going to come out of my mouth today, but I'm excited because I can already see something's cooking. And it feels good. It feels good. And I always say my talks are a collaboration because it's all energy. So whatever speaks through me, it's really what we all need. So my first question is, the ping that I'm getting right now is, are you really, really willing? Right? Are we really, really willing? Because today I want you to be very uncompromising. I want you to think about not making any more exceptions to your happiness. Why? Because you are worthy of that. Happiness is our inheritance and happiness is our function. God's will for you is happiness. So what the heck? What's going on, people? And I ask the Zoomers out there, it's like we forget. It's like we have amnesia. The doctor says something. Where did the unity principles go? We don't have that much money in the bank. What's happening? Right? We go through problems, through issues, right? God is out the door. And the other thing is that we want to play God, right? We think we know better than God. We want to manipulate and control. Do we understand that every time you don't accept what is in the moment, you lose? And then you think you're God because you don't want things to be the way they are. But how about if what is exactly perfect right now? It doesn't mean you become complacent. It doesn't mean you're not going to take action and go out in the world and do things. I'm saying get your mind straight, your cuckoo mind straight. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, not the cereal, right? Little cuckoo. I love saying cuckoo because it is cuckoo. I mean, it's the best way I could describe it. We have other words, but anyways, not for church. So it's like, cuckoo mind, the time has come to start to allow yourself to embrace the present moment. When you get your cuckoo mind straight, your thoughts straight, you come into the world with a new self-realization. You come in with another perspective. You come in with another perception, which is love. And guess what? That's available to you. So my question is, do you understand that peace is available to you within your health issues? Do you know that peace is available to you if your partner is not being so nice or things are happening in the relationship? Peace is available to you. Did you know that when you have hardships in your life, peace is available to you? The great thing is that we have dominion and we get to experience life the way we choose. And that's good news. It almost makes me want to cry. Because I get to decide. Do I want to be in joy or do I want to be in fear? Do I want to get amnesia and forget who I am and then in turn everyone forgets? or do I want to remember? There's this great person I found online. He had an NDE experience, near-death experience. His name is Andy Petro. He's about 80, he's in his 80s right now, 89, something like that. I loved his near-death experience, and I'll tell you a little bit about it because it has everything to do with freedom. And I actually contacted Andy, and he actually spoke to my community on Zoom. Fascinating experience. He actually had his NDE when he was 23, and he's in his 90s now, and he still remembers what happened. And what he saw is that we are light. He saw that we are light, that we're all connected in the light, that all we are is light. There's no division, no separation, no hierarchy, no sadness, no fear, just light, just oneness, just expansiveness. Can you feel it? I can feel it just talking about it, right? You feel that joy, you feel that connectedness, that vastness. He says the light took him to his different lifetimes and was looking at Andy's lifetimes and saying, Andy, look at you, how you made that so real. Look, that got you there. Look how upset you got. And look at this, and look at that. Just showing Andy his life and saying, and not making Andy wrong, but just reminding him of how hard we all are on ourselves and how we can choose again. The light also say that we're here to be in joy. That we're here to be in joy. And the thing is, we get to decide if we want to live in that joy or not. So one of the key things in embracing freedom and living happiness is to understand how our mind works and what we're thinking and believing. And unity principle number 3 is perfect for this, which is I create my experiences by what I choose to think and what I feel and what I believe. Right? I see everybody nodding their heads. Yes. Your thoughts have everything to do with your experience. Now, we think that we think, but I don't know if you've noticed that you're being thought. Right? I mean, I have thoughts sometimes. I'm like, where the heck did that come from? Right? We're like, what is going on? I'll be washing my dishes. I'll just have thoughts. And they'll come out of nowhere. It's like I'm being thought. I don't even have any control. They just come in and out. So what does that tell you? It tells you, don't take your thoughts so seriously. And just because you're thinking something doesn't mean it's necessarily true. Or maybe it's even the opposite. So I tell people, please, don't make things so real. Don't make it so real. I remember when I got my book offered to write Live Your Happy, I didn't want to write a book. I actually posted something on Facebook, sounded catchy. Somebody reached out to me. To make a long story short, I was able to publish my book, but it went to Hay House, and Hay House didn't want the book, wasn't interested in the book. So my book agent, Patrick, and also editor, he says, hey, Maria, I just heard from Hay House, and they don't want to publish Live Your Happy. And I said, that's great. Fantastic. I didn't want to write a book either. It's perfect. You know what that is? That's called letting things go. Not making it too real, filled with wonder. What the heck do I know? They were probably not the best person to publish it, obviously. I mean, it's incredible how the signs are. I mean, they just can't get any more obvious. Are you guys not looking at the signs in your life? It's like right in front of your face. And you're like, oh no, I don't care. I don't care about the signs. I want to keep on masochist. Right? It's like tells you over and over again, life is telling you not that way, and you're like, I don't care. Seriously, I've lived it. That's why I can talk about it. That's why I get up here and talk about it. I want to save you all some time here. It's like, let's go and walk into our lives and start to understand the reason that I felt that way genuinely is because I didn't have any attachments. I was in the present moment. And I could hardly care. And it's not that I didn't care about getting the book published. It's like, I want God's will. When I say I want God's will, I need to be uncompromising with that. I want God's will, not my will. And I don't know what that is. I'll show up for it, and I'll follow the signs, and I'll use my abilities, my talents, my whatever spirit gives me to use it, but I have no attachments. So Patrick says to me, you are the happiest rejected writer I've ever talked to. How come you're so happy? I said, Patrick, I mean, I want my book to be where somebody wants it, where somebody's excited about it. He said, well, we're not going to stop now. We're going to pitch it to New World Library. It ends up getting published. I got picked up 2 months later by New World Library, which actually published The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle and has published incredible books by Deepak Chopra. They're big publishers. So I was like, amazing. And now Live Your Happy lives. You can actually find Live Your Happy at a bookstore near you, right in the front, after you can see it. And it's alive. And alive with someone that's dyslexic, someone that went to learning disability schools when she was younger, someone that felt she couldn't write a book. It's impossible. Someone that, basically I would give CDs out for my talks because I was trying to get away from writing books. So when the universe, and when you have a desire, when something's in your heart, it will come true for you because it is the highest and best for you. And if it doesn't, good. You have no idea what you're being saved from. You have no idea what you're being saved from. And that's what we got to look at. When I work with my clients, I always work with them at the cause of things. The cause. What is the cause? What are you thinking and believing? What cuckoo thoughts are stirring in there? I'm not good enough. I can't do it. I was abused when I was little. I was told I was a piece of caca when I was little. You know what that is? I'm not saying any bad words, only in Spanish. So it's like all these things when we're young children, we start to think and believe them. And I want you now to consider, even if it's one thought, and say, and you can say to me, Maria, I am willing to let go of this thought. I am willing to stop thinking and believing this in my past. I am willing to forgive. The Course in Miracles, forgiveness is basically non-judgment. It took me like 20 years to understand that. Because the Course in Miracles says forgiveness is you forgive your brother for what he didn't do. Forgiveness is that, you remember only love you gave and received in the past. All else is an illusion. I was like, okay, good luck with that. It feels very real to me. I'm not a victim of the world that I see. Wow, that's radical. That was over 25 years ago when I found the Course in Miracles. It was so radical. I found it at a Unity church, Unity of Miami. Loved it. Oneness, unity. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I found home. And when I and I discovered the Course, I started to realize, oh my gosh, all the 365 lessons that are in the Course in Miracles is all about changing your mind. I am the light of the world, but we go like this. I am the light of the world, but I want to look for my light outside. I am abundance, but I'm going to worry about my bank account. I am perfect health, but when the doctor says I don't have good health, I get into fear. The time has come. The time has come that when you're at that doctor's office, the doctor says there's some cells in your body that are not working very well, that you come into your mind, that you come into your Christ self, you come into your center, and you open up your eyes, your heart, and you realize, oh my gosh, I have other cells in my body that are working perfectly well. The time has come. There's other cells in my body that are moving, that are working, that go beyond this body that's light, that I'm connected to that light. I am not a body, I am free. It's the best affirmation you could ever say because it is the truth. My gosh, if we were a body, I'll be sad. Because it cannot be that I'm just a body. It's very constraining. Vastness, openness. I believe I'm a body. It appears I'm talking right now, but I know there's so much more here. And that's what I want us all to remember today. I want us all to tune into that energetic field of oneness that goes beyond the body. I call it the big kahuna in my life. That means the big one. You know when you have like big stuff that goes on in your life, like just big news, stuff that just really hits home. And I want to just know if anybody here is going through that hard time this morning, right? Just something's going on. Exactly. So If something big is going on for you, that's fine. If something so-so is going on or nothing at all, that's fine. This is a good reminder. My husband and I, where's the Zoom? Over here? Maybe he's watching. Over here's the Zoom? Okay. Hi, honey. I'm talking about you now. Hi, Ari. Ari's my 6-year-old. Maybe they're watching. So my husband and I have been married for 7 years, and we have a 6-year-old son. And we've had an incredible marriage. I actually met him at a Course in Miracles retreat in California. And we've had an incredible relationship until, we had some rough times come up. I'm not gonna get specific, not too much cheese made today, but, which is gossip, by the way. But just we were going through some challenging times. And my prayer in my marriage is, God, I want to know what real love is. Okay, be careful praying that. Woo! I don't want the love of, the Jerry Maguire movie, You Complete Me. I don't want this fairy tale Disney love, like everything's outside, your happiness is outside. I want to experience what real love is, the unconditional love of my Father. I want to feel it in my relationship. I want to understand it and have a healing there. It goes beyond if we're together, if we're not together, whatever it is, it's just, how can I understand what this real love is? So that's been my prayer for years, and boy, I was challenged with this prayer. And when the difficulties started to come in, I was like, okay, Maria, you want to know what real love is? This is the way it looks like. Are you willing to let go of the judgment? Are you willing to not personalize this? Are you willing to see beyond the veil of illusion? And are you willing to remember your Father? Are you willing to become defenselessness? Are you willing to let go of being right? And are you willing to really heal and live this prayer? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Not only for my marriage, but for my son. Oh, because we are worthy of that. So, first things first is thoughts. First thing that happened is thoughts, cuckoo thoughts. Maria la loca at the beginning. She came out first. That is a good thing, guys. You got to feel it to heal it. I don't know what's going on here that people don't want to be a hot mess. We're humans. We're all hot messes. Allow yourself to be that. Allow yourself to feel that uncomfortableness, that wave. I always say that wave. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, and then it subsides. But you want to feel your emotions and be unapologetic about it, authentic about it. Like, what is the problem with crying? What's the problem of being cuckoo? Yes, it's part of our being in duality. It's part of being in separation. If we start to deny that and try to be spiritual and brush it under the rug, we are repressing our emotions. We need them to come up. So I allowed that. Very challenging and very hard to be in my emotions. But at the time, with all my practice, there's an awareness there. Self-awareness. It's like, okay, I know that I'm choosing to be sad right now. I know I'm choosing to be victimized right now. And that's okay. I'm going to allow myself the grace to be this until it subsides. And it will. It's easier than rejecting it. Second thing is I start to work on my thoughts. I start to question them with spirit. Is this true? Is this thought true? Right? Also Byron Katie's work. Is it true? Is it 100% true? How am I with the thought? How am I without the thought? What's the opposite thought? Just like everything I could think of. And I was like, okay, what will real love do? I sat with my thoughts and I started to realize that I was deceiving myself. The ego always wants to make the brother wrong. The ego always wants to be right. The ego always wants to flee. The ego, all these things. And maybe you do flee. That's fine too. Right? It's not about what you do in behavior. It's about who you're being in your mind. Who are you showing up in your life? Who are you being? After I got my thoughts in check, took me like, I don't know. The next day I woke up and I was like new. It was like nothing had happened. And then I knew that this worked at a whole nother level. I'm like, I'm so much of a better speaker and teacher because of this experience. And it just happened like a week ago. because I lived something that I've been talking about for years that I knew and I had little golden nuggets about, but now I know it's true. Because to have gone through what I've gone through and to get to where I am and the freedom that I have is incredible. And that's available to each and every one of us. So I invite you to question your beliefs, question your thoughts. And what about if they're completely opposite than what you think? What about if it's completely opposite? For the better. But we're living on the narrative of the scarcity. We're living on the narrative of the fear. We're living on the egoic narrative. And the time has come to come back to love, to the perception of love. And we're all worthy of that. So I'm going to ask you again, how I started this morning is if you are ready for this. Because this is a spiritual Olympics. What's today, July 7th? Oh, your world will never be the same. If you decide that today and say, I will walk out of this door today and I will know that my mind will not run me. God runs my show. And God has a very loving narrative that it goes beyond what my fear mind says. So, I'm going to forgive even if I don't want to. That's what it looks like. Are you guys going to be stubborn? Tell me. Are you sure? No. It's very humbling, and it's really an honor to stand here and share this truth with you, because when you live it and you know that you can be free from any bad news, anything the doctor tells you, your finances, your relationships, anything that might be going on in your life, it could be from a number 1 to a number 10 to whatever it is, your freedom is available there. You get to choose that. And that is good news, because we know that we can start to be happier. And that's the narrative that I want to start to teach people when I'm speaking. It's like, why can't happiness be normal? If you tell somebody you can be happy 24 days, 24/7, 7 days a week, and you tell them you could be happy all that time, people would be like, yeah, sure. But if you say you could be fearful and depressed for 24 hours, 7 days a week, they'll be, oh yeah, that's possible. Pero, what's going on here? So I'm coming here saying today, it's like, why can't that be the truth? Why can that be the normal? It doesn't mean we're happy, like, it doesn't have to be cheerleader happiness. It doesn't have to look like that, but it's that you walk in your world with a gentle smile, knowing what is really real here. Your doctor says, your health is not so good. And you're like, and then he's like, what the heck is wrong with this person? You laugh, right? But it's the truth. And the time has come for that. So if you want to play with this a little deeper today, if you want to really get to the bottom of your beliefs, if you want to see how you can begin to have more peace and freedom in your life, I invite you to the workshop this afternoon. You know, I live an hour away. I don't know when I'm coming back. So I invite you to come, and us in community, we get to wake up together and we get to have this conversation, because it's more powerful when we're all together. And we can support each other in suffering less and living a suffering-free life. What would it be that every morning you get up, every single morning you get up, and you understand, wow, I get to choose how I want to experience my day, and I have the tools in my toolbox to keep me in check. That's what this workshop is for you today. That you get to wake up and be like, oh my God, Maria's tool. I'm gonna go pick it up, and I'm not gonna forget today when I hear bad news or when something happens. All right, so I think it's at 12 to 1:30, 11:30. Okay. 12:30, and I will be doing a book signing after if anybody wants to get books after and can't stay for the workshop. But at this time, I just want to invite you to what we will experience today. It will be something that, especially with what I just came out of, there's a lot cooking. Can't wait to share more. All right, so let's pray. Closing the eyes as we're so grateful and thankful. Can I have some melody music maybe? I don't know, I think it's last minute stuff, but I need something like, maybe next time I'll be ready. If not, it's all good. Let's closing the eyes, and if it comes on, I'll come on. Having a breath here, inhaling through the nose, and just grateful and thankful for this moment. And just taking in the words, taking in what you learned, the insights, and just really bringing it into your heart center. And just really coming into this big willingness of wanting to see your life differently from a different perception. The willingness to change your beliefs. The willingness to remember who you are. The willingness to begin living and knowing that you're in the mind of God. So just know as you come into your life now that you have a different perspective. Once you turn on the light, it's on. You can never go back. So I want you to see yourself just coming into your life with less judgment, with less victimization, and with the willingness to see through love, to have the perception of love, no matter how hard it is. You're determined to be at peace within the storm. The time has come. So just allow yourself to bask in the silence. And just back to our original prayer, which altogether we can say, I am love, and I am willing. And altogether you may open your eyes as we all say together something I've been saying a lot in this talk, which is, the time has come. Amen. Thank you, everyone.
I'm going to invite the ushers to come forward as we say our offering blessing together. But first, I'd like to thank Reverend Maria. What an awesome message.
Thank you
you so much.
Thank you, Eileen.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Eileen. Thank you, Eileen. Thank you.
So
Thank
together,
you.
divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, that this is so.